So this is the third in a series of 4 classes for absolute beginners with Pilates. So presuming that you've done the first 2 and you've practiced those a little bit, and then eventually you come into the third one. For the third class, we're going to just come to the end of our mat. You might need a pillow for this class, so if you have issues with your neck, just put a pillow there as an option. So we're going to start with the feet at hip space, and we're going to grab, I'm going to use a Pilates ball, but if you haven't got a Pilates ball, then you could use your pillow, and you could fold up the pillow and you could put the pillow between the knees. So either or, whichever you've got, whichever seems right. If you're using a football, you can get a cheap football and you can just let a little bit of air out of it so that it's not quite so hard, and that way you're not going to over tighten your hip flexors, where all the muscles come into the front of the pelvis. So if you feel gripping here, then just go a little bit easier. But in the beginning, the ball or the pillow is a really good way just to find your powerhouse. So you're sitting in an upright position, you've got your feet at the same distance as your knees with the pillow or the ball, and you're just going to add a gentle squeeze of the ball, like 10% effort. Just enough that you can feel the low abs, you can feel the pelvic floor, you can feel your low back just suddenly become a little bit more active. So 10% squeeze, release, a little bit inner thighs as well. So again, 10% squeeze, just locate those low muscles in the powerhouse. Releasing. So now add on, you're going to add your 10% squeeze, and then you're going to pull up through the pelvic floor, through that imaginary elevator, and you get a little bit more sense of the powerhouse. Maybe you even feel it up to your belly button. And then relax. So again, gentle squeeze, 10% effort with the squeeze, pull up through the pelvic floor, 1, 2, 3, and relax. So then we could add into that again to get a little bit more information about the powerhouse. So a 10% squeeze through the pillow or the ball, pull up to that first floor through the pelvic lift, and then pull your belly button towards the back of your rib cage, and suddenly you feel your powerhouse. So from the diaphragm to the pelvic floor, everything in the front, everything in the sides, everything in the back. And releasing. We'll do that again. 10% squeeze, pull up through the pelvic floor, pull the belly button to the back of the rib cage. 1, 2, 3. And come back into relax. So make sure when you do that, your hips are not getting too grippy. So then the roll back. You're going to think about a C curve through the spine. So what people commonly do is they hinge back at the hip, which means their abs can't do very much at all, and their back muscles are locked on and very active. Their hip flexors are very active. So what you need to do is you need to take your low ribs at the front of the rib cage, tuck your ribs under, so you're in a very curved back, hold the back of the thighs, you squeeze the ball 10%, you pull up through the lift, you imprint the belly button, and you do a nice half roll back with a curved spine. Your feet can lift if that's comfortable for you. And then squeeze the ball a little bit more to come back into center. So we do that again. You squeeze the ball, you pull up through the pelvic floor, pull the belly button to the back of the ribs, tuck your rib cage under to create that curved back. Just roll back to where your arms are supporting you. Take a moment and deepen the belly. Pull the belly in even more towards the spine, up under the rib cage. Squeeze the ball a fraction more to come back in. So again, squeeze the ball. Pull up through the lift, imprint the belly button to the back of the ribs, do a half roll back. You get a sense of tucking your tailbone under as you tuck your ribs under, so that helps to bring your spine into a C curve and come back up. So see now if you could advance that to taking the arms away. So you see the back is nice and curved. You're not doing this, you're not hinging back. So when you hinge back, you can't use your abs and your back is doing all the work. When you move through the C curve, you can't use your back muscles, but you can only use your abdominal muscles, and that's what you're trying to achieve. You could add a little bit of a forward reach just to give yourself a bit of a stretch, make sure the spine is comfortable, squeeze the ball. So to begin with, you do a half roll back. You breathe out as you roll out from center, you breathe in as you move back into center. The sign that you've gone too far, you breathe out as you roll out, would be that you lift your head and you lift your heart to come back in. That means you're straining and using all the sort of external muscles rather than using your powerhouse to do the job. So you tuck the ribs under, 10% squeeze, find your powerhouse. Okay, so the chin stays down, the head stays down, the heart stays down. Make sure you're not lifting the head and the heart to come out of it. Take the ball away for a minute. Kick the legs out. Just release any tightness that you feel in those hip flexors. So you're looking into the belly, you're pulling the belly up under the ribs, little gentle bounce, and just feel the stretch through the superficial back line, the connectivity through the back of the body. So then you could come back into bent knees. You could grab, if you've got a band, you could try this with a band. Take the band and wrap the band around your toes. Do a little crossover. Fairly long tails. And you hold the band like you would if you were riding a horse. So you're not holding it this way, you're having it through the palm, coming up between the thumb and the first finger, not holding it this way, if you can see that. Okay, so it's coming up through the palm and not down through the palm. Bend your knees. So squeeze your knees together as if you still had the ball there. Tuck the tailbone under, tuck the ribs under, half roll back. Hold there for a second and then pull the belly in much, much more and come back in. So the band is really lovely because it makes it a little bit easier to roll back. So you can slow the movement down. You can really articulate your spine as you move through that half roll back. Pull the belly up under the ribs. So practicing it this way, you might be able to go a little bit further because the band is helping you. Make sure you still can come out of this without lifting the head, without lifting the heart. Maybe using the band, you can actually reach the floor, but make sure there's no straining in that. You can put your head down for a moment, bring the chin up, breathe in, pull the belly up under the rib cage. One more time, rounding away. Let the head uncurl. Bring the chin up first. Pull the belly up under the ribs. Inhale and come back up. So that's another way to do this, is using a band. So eventually you get where you can take the ball away. You can do this without the band. You're going to still start by holding the back of the thighs. So all the same things. You're going to, by now you know how to connect with your powerhouse. So you're pulling up through the pelvic floor. You're pulling your belly button to the back of the rib cage. You're tucking your ribs under and you're tucking your tailbone under to bring your spine into that lovely curved spine. Just stay there for a moment. Deepen the imprint. Pull the belly in even more and breathe in and come back up. You could put your hands on your shins and you could do a little bit of an up stretch where you pull on the shins, you lift your heart to the ceiling, just bringing your spine into a lovely long spine, extending the muscles of your back. So come back into relax, hold behind the knee, you're rounding, pull the belly button to the back of the rib cage. Stay there, you feel a bit of a stretch through the arms, deepen the belly, use your in-breath to come back up. I'm talking all the time, which means I'm breathing correctly. What people tend to do is they do their half roll back, they hit that level of difficulty, and then they hold their breath and they try to come out of it holding their breath. And when you do that, you're going to disengage your abdominal muscles, you're going to weaken your back. So you need to be breathing, you need to be using your diaphragm, your deep abdominals, you're not straining. So you're breathing out to roll out. Deepen the belly, breathe in to come back in. And a really nice way to make sure you do it the right way is you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's no time that you disconnect the breath from the movement if you're saying that number out loud. Kathy Grant, who was second generation Pilates, she used to make her class sing the numbers as they did it. So try taking the hands away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deepen the belly. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So See if you could go a bit further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Little reach forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming to the floor. So coming up from the floor, if you stay down here too long, you'll find your muscles relax. But just say you've rolled down, the head has landed, you bring the head and the arms forward, you're ready to come up and you get stuck. Just like there's just nothing there. So you're not going to strain to come up, that's really bad. And you're not going to be using your abdominals to do that, it would be every other muscle but your abs. So what you would do is you would bring your knees in, one at a time, you'd hold behind the knees, create opposition, you push your legs into your hands so that you've got quite a lot of energy between the arms and the legs, chin into tuck, and then you swing up using the weight of your legs. So your legs are going to be heavier than your torso, so it's simple physics. The best way to come up from the floor in the beginning is to use your swing up until you get the strength and the flexibility to be able to do it naturally. So we'll do that again. We're going to take the arms away. We're going to tuck the ribs under, tuck the tailbone under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open out for a moment. And then we're going to lift the knees. There goes my ball. We're going to lift the knees into the table position. Create the opposition by pushing the thighs into the palms, chin into tuck, and then spinning up into sitting. So we'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Arms overhead. So eventually you can get stronger a bit more flexible. You could try bringing up just one leg. Push the opposition, push the leg into the hands, create the opposition, bring the chin up, and you're going to push the leg away from you, which will just bring you through that sticky phase, but it's quite a bit harder than the swing up. We try that again. You're going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lifting one knee, drop the foot, push the knee away from the chest, bring the chin into the chest, deepen the abs, and just allow yourself to slowly come through that sticky sort of mid phase. There's a point about here where it's quite hard. So then trying it without the legs, you're going to roll through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take the arms over, bring the arms forward, bring the chin into tuck, imprint the belly button to the back of the rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Overhead reach. Bring the arms forward, arms are heavy. Bring the chin into tuck. The neck is stretching, but there's no weight on the neck. Imprint the belly button to the back of the rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And come back in. Lovely. So just do a slow roll down and we're going to stay on the floor. So eventually the roll down becomes a transitional movement and you're trying to see how slowly can I roll down without straining, without staying still in one spot. So you've got to keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Pull the belly button in really hard so that if you do flop down, you're in control and the spine is strong and stable. So we'll do that again. We'll take the arms over, we'll bring the knees up, bring the chin into tuck, we'll swing up. So we're trying to see how slowly can I roll to the floor, so you tuck the ribs under, and you're just trying to go one vertebra at a time. And when you get about halfway out, you pull the belly button to the back of the spine as strongly as you can, so that you feel very strong and active in your back muscles, so that even if you flop down on that last little bit, your back muscles are stable and they're safe. Just bring your right leg in and just extend your left leg out and just give your hip, your bottom, your hamstrings, your low back a little bit of a stretch. So just get used to how that feels and then bring your nose up into center. So that's the neck stretch. Press the back of your left knee into the floor, lift your elbows and pull your belly button towards the back of the rib cage. Take a breath into the back of the ribs. Keep the belly pulling in. And as you breathe out, you're slowly, gently coming down. When the head's on the floor, switch over, hug your left knee, extend your right leg. So you're going to pull the knee into the chest and just feel the hip, the back, the glutes, the hamstring stretching. Push the back of your right knee into the floor. Bring your head up into the center. Lift your elbows, pull your belly button to the back of the rib cage. Breathe into the back of the ribs. And slowly, gently coming down through the vertebra of your upper spine. Bring your head back to the floor. Hug both knees. If you pull your knees in, you get quite a good hip stretch. If you pull your shins towards your ribs, you get a nice back stretch. So I'm going to go for the mid shins. Bring your chin gently into center. Aim your nose into the little V between your knees. Stretch your spine. Slowly, gently coming down. Take the feet to the floor. So cross your ankles. Press your palms into the floor. Drop the back of your belly button into the mat. So you're in a pelvic tuck. And you're going to pull up through the pelvic floor. Pull the belly button to the back of the ribs. And just slowly going to draw your knees into your chest. So that's a roll up. And slowly down. Sometimes it's called a reverse crunch. So it's really working from the belly button to the pubic bone, as opposed to a crunch, which works from the breastbone to the belly button. So you're just really working on those lower abs, just stretching your spine. What's really happening in this exercise, we're focusing on the legs coming up and over, but what's really happening is your pelvis is drawing up into your rib cage. So you're pulling up through the pelvic floor, pulling up under the ribs to draw the pelvis into the rib cage. See if you can get a little bit of a lift under the tailbone, under the sacrum. Slowly down. So again, pull up through the pelvic floor, pull up under the ribs, draw the pelvis up into the rib cage. The point that you stop is where you start to notice your neck is starting to become too active. Slowly down. So again, pulling up through the pelvic floor, pulling up towards the back of the rib cage, lifting, 1, 2, 3, and slowly down. So you can advance this over time if you want to work your obliques as well. You're pulling up through the pelvic floor, pulling up under the ribs, you're peeling up, but you take your knees over to your right shoulder. You slowly come back down into center. The abs are working to control the weight of the legs to touch the floor. So you're working in both ranges. So you're pulling up through the pelvic floor, up under the ribs, pull the knees over to the left side, left shoulder, and slowly down. Do a couple more. So you're going to pull up and over, make sure the neck is not too active, come back down, pulling up and over. Trying to get a little bit of lift in the tailbone, in the sacrum. One more time, peeling up and over, right side, slowly down, peeling up towards the left, slowly down. Uncross the ankles, have the feet at hip space, nice level pelvis, so remember pubic bone, belly button, ASIS, all nice and level, north, south, east, west level, tailbone on the floor, hollow in the small of the back. You slide your hand in there. Nice natural neutral curve in the neck. If your head is hanging back to reach the floor, then you would grab your pillow and you would put the pillow under the back of the skull. So you're trying to just bring your neck, the vertebra of your neck, into a nice neutral line. So if your head is drawn back, that is not a neutral neck. So bring yourself into that position. Coming into the arm movements, you're going to float your arms to the ceiling. Keep a little bit of a bend in the elbow. Don't stretch out those arms into long. The arms are curved. They look like brackets that go around sentences. So nice curved arms. And you're going to just gently reach towards the ceiling and feel the stretch between your shoulder blades. And come back down into relaxed. So again, you're reaching. So you feel the space between the shoulder blades widen, you feel your chest muscles more active. So you're reaching, you're going to do 4. Come back into relax, reaching, come back into relax. Keeping the arms fairly curved, but not bending the arms or the elbows. You're going to just press your shoulder blades into the floor and feel your chest muscles, the sides of your chest very active. And you feel the squeeze together of your shoulder blades. And then relax. So you're pressing your shoulder blades into the floor, you're squeezing them inwards and just feel your chest muscles active. Make sure your neck's not too active though. And releasing, feeling that neutral pelvis, feel that nice hollow in the back. So you're drawing your shoulder blades into the floor, you're squeezing them inwards. 1, 2, 3, relaxing. One more time, press the shoulder blades into the floor, squeeze them together, the inner edges of your shoulder blades. Relaxing, and bring your hands back to the pelvis. Just do some shoulder rolls. Move your nose, just see how the neck is feeling after that. So the neck is all part of your shoulder girdle, and it's often the place that we feel where the work was happening, because those muscles can be quite weak and out of balance compared to the stronger muscles, the bigger muscles in the group. So now we're going to take the arms into a raised position. Still got those nice curved elbows, and you're going to pull up through the pelvic floor, pull the belly button to the back of the ribs, and just float the arms, the upper arms to the ears. And then slowly come back. So you're pulling up through the pelvic floor, pulling the belly button to the back of the ribs. You don't want your rib cage to lift. You don't want your spine to change its position. So a wrong way to do this, if I just show you, would be to float the arms and allow the ribs to pop up and the back to arch. So that's a very unstable movement. And so we're staying in that neutral pelvis. Engage the pelvic floor, engage the belly button, the upper abs, and you're floating the arms. So maybe you start to go past the ears, and maybe you can reach the floor, but that depends on whether you can keep your rib cage still and you can keep your spine in neutral. So belly button falls to the back of the rib cage. Maybe you can float, don't force it. So a lot of people are very tight in the shoulder girdle, and so when they do this, it probably looks a little bit more like this. The elbows are quite high. There's no way they're going to reach the floor. There's no way those elbows are going to come to the mat. So you just use repetition. So you're floating the arms to a comfortable position, and then just stretch your fingers to the wall above your head and just feel the stretch upwards of your shoulder blades. And come back. So again, you're pulling up to the pelvic floor, pull the belly button to the back of the ribs, float the arms to the ears, and then just stretch to the wall above and feel the shoulder blades pull up the rib cage. So this is called elevation. You're elevating the scapula. So one more time, engage your powerhouse, float the arms, stretch to the wall above you. So that lovely stretch, make sure the neck is comfortable, and come back into your pelvis. So the final one, so we've done protraction, retraction, elevation. So now we've got to do depression. So what we're going to do is we're going to float the arms, imprint through the lift, imprint the belly button, float the arms. So maybe in this one, you can touch the floor and get the elbows close to the mat. If you can do that comfortably, that's great. If you look a bit more like this with the elbows lifted, put your hands on your forehead. And if that still feels uncomfortable in the shoulders, you can put your hands on your chest or your shoulders at the front. Okay, so just find what's comfortable for you. Pull up through the lift, up through the belly button. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to imagine that I'm quite tight in the shoulder girdle. I've got my hands on the forehead. And you're going to just focus, you're going to drop your chin, so your neck is quite long now. And you're going to slide your shoulder blades down towards your heels of your back, of your feet through the back line.
And relax the shoulder blades. You're going to bring the arms back over. Okay, so floating the arms to wherever, hands on chest, hands on forehead. You could put your hands on the crown of the head maybe, and you're going to slide your shoulder blades down towards your heels. That's called depression. Relax the shoulder blades, bring the arms back. And you're doing it 4 or 5 times, but gradually over time, you're going to get to a place where your hands can touch the floor. Maybe your elbows are lifted at first because you're very tight. Slide the shoulder blades down towards your heels. Relax your shoulder blades, bring your arms back, and then ideally, eventually, you're going to pull up through the lift and press the belly button upwards towards the back of the ribs, float the arms, eventually you reach the floor, the elbows are on the floor, the chin is dropped, and you slide your shoulder blades down towards your heels. You get that lovely stretch. You can move your nose from right to left as you pull your shoulder blades down in the back. So you really feel that strong connection to the deep stabilizing muscles of your neck. Bring your nose into center, relax your shoulder blades, float the arms back up and over. Just do a few shoulder rolls, just move your nose from right to left, just do a few shrugs, make sure the neck feels okay. So put your hands on your pelvis, pulling up through the pelvic floor, pull the belly button to the back of the ribs, a bit like you're tightening your waistband slightly, and you're going to just float that right foot off the floor. So you've been practicing this move so that you can lift and lower that leg without any of the bones in the box of your pelvis, so rib cage, lumbar spine, pelvis. You can float that leg without any of the bones in the box reacting to that leg lift. So once you've gotten strong enough to do a knee fold, the next movement you will try is to turn that right foot in towards your left knee and keep your hips perfectly level. So again, no movement in the bones of the box. Come back into your knee fold position. Try that 3 more times. The right foot turns towards the left knee. You stay level at the hip line. So if you put a spirit level across the bones at the front of the pelvis, the bubble in the spirit level would stay right in the middle, and there's no movement through the ASIS, those bones. Come back into your knee fold. This is a very strong rotation through the hip. So right foot turns into left knee, hips stay very calm and very level. You feel the abs working hard. You come back into knee fold 1 more time. You turn the foot in, right foot to left knee. You stay level in the pelvis. 1, 2, 3. You come back into knee fold. You place the foot back down. Little pelvic tuck. Just drop your belly button into the floor. Give yourself a stretch. Come back into level. So hands on the bones of the pelvis. Pull up through the pelvic floor. Pull the belly button to the back of the ribs. Tighten the waist. And see if you can float the left knee without any of the bones in the box of your torso moving. Put the foot back down. Try that again. Pull up through the pelvic floor. Belly button to the back of the ribs. Draw the waist in. Float the knee. So once you've mastered the knee fold, you're going to turn your left foot towards the right knee and check your pelvis stays perfectly still and level, and then come back into your fold. Now, all of us, I would say, have got a slight bias. One side is slightly stronger than the other. So for me, when I turn my left foot in, I've got to be really careful that I don't allow my pelvis to shift as I do that, because I'm a lot weaker through this side, and then come back into your knee fold. So you're pulling up through the lift, increase the belly button. The more you use your powerhouse, the steadier you will be. And come back into knee fold 1 more time. Find your powerhouse. Externally rotate that left knee, left foot to right knee. Very level through the ASIS. Come back into knee fold and place the foot down. Just drop your belly button, stretch your back. And at this point, it would be a good idea just to bring your knees in, hug your shins, bring your head into your knee, and just give yourself a good stretch. So sometimes you're quite surprised to notice that your back has reacted, worked very hard and has reacted to being worked and is getting a little bit tight. So you just need to keep an eye on how tight you are through the back of the body. Take the feet down one at a time. Bring your pelvis back into level. Find your pelvic floor, imprint your belly button, draw your waist in, and you're going to float your right knee. For this one, you're going to see if you could extend your leg in turn out. Turn out means the hip is turned out, the knee is turned out, the big toe is turned out, but you only turn out to the degree that you stay level through the ASIS and come back in. So imagine that spirit level running across the hips and it stays perfectly level. So we're doing 4s of each of these. Now you've got a compromise with the leg extension. Up here is easier for your abs, but it's very hard on the hamstrings if they're tight. Down here is easier on the hamstrings, but now it's hard on the abs. So you're trying to find that perfect range where you feel there's a nice balance between hamstrings and abs. The box of the body stays calm. So last one, pull up through the pelvic floor, imprint the belly button. Come back in, hug the shin. Bring your head into your knee and just give your spine another stretch. Lower the head, take the foot down, level up through the pelvis. So when you're ready, pulling up through the pelvic floor, imprinting the belly button, tightening the waist. Float the left knee. So remember that you might have a slight bias. One side might be stronger than the other. If you're on your weaker side, you've really got to focus on the abs as you lift that leg. Extend the leg with the hip, the knee, and the big toe slightly turned outwards. So what that does, come back into knee fold, is it relaxes your quads so that you don't get that tension in your back. And it also just engages the muscles at the back of the pelvis. So you're extending your leg in turn out. And come back in. So again, extending, find that perfect range where the back feels comfortable, the abs are strong enough, you come back in. So last time, extend and turn out. Try not to extend the leg and then turn out. You're turning out immediately, you extend the leg. So it's all one fluid movement. Hug the shin, bring the head into the knee. Slowly down with the head, go down with the foot. Have the feet at hip space, nice level pelvis. So the next one is the hardest of the 3. Abs engaged, pelvic floor, belly button, waist. You're floating the right knee, and you're going to let the knee, the shin, and the ankle all fall out from the midline at the same time, but keep the bones in the box perfectly still. You need to use more abs to come in. It's a little bit harder to come in from this one. So you're thinking 70% abs to fall out, 100% abs to come back in. Keep the bones in the box nice and still. 70% abs, and let the knee, the shin, and the ankle fall out together and come back in. So it's a little bit like a hinged door or a hinged flap falling out, and then really strong abs to draw that leg back in. So one more time, knee falls out, a lot of weight in that leg, make sure the pelvis and the body doesn't follow, and come back in. And again, just hug the knee, and maybe this time we'll do a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So we just change the stretch each time. Point and flex is calves and Achilles. You can do a little bit of a press into the hands, push into the heel, and drop into your sit bone, and drop that sit bone into the floor. And just do about 5 or 6, just to really get into the back of the leg. So take the feet to hip space, level up through the pelvis, pull up through the pelvic floor, imprint the belly button, draw the waist in, float the left knee, and you're going to come into your knee fold position, really engage your abs, and you're going to let the knee, the shin, and the ankle fall out to the side, and then stronger abs to come back in. You can think about that airplane seatbelt, and you're really pulling that seatbelt tight to feel like you could pull your hips in a bit closer. So you're falling out and then feel like the seatbelt is tightening, the hips are drawing closer, and you bring that knee back up. So the knee's falling out, or you could just be thinking belly button to the back of the ribs, pull up through the pelvic floor. So different words, different pictures work for different people. So you're finding the imagery that works for you. So 70% abs to fall out, 100% abs. Another one is the corset tightening. And last time, falling out. Imagine that French corset, the ribbons being drawn, and you bring the knee back in. So you're going to hug the shin for a second. You're going to take the leg to the ceiling. You're going to just push into the back of the knee a few times to stretch your hamstrings. You're going to point and flex. Get your calves equally stretching. And then you're going to bend and you're going to push into the hand, push into the heel, drop the sit bone into the floor. Just get that really strong stretch in 3 directions. And again. And again. And again. So just to finish, hug the shins, head into knees, just give ourselves a stretch. Bring the head down, take the feet down, 1, 2. So we're going to bring the pelvis into level, and we're going to see if we can put those 3 moves together. So nice level pelvis, find your powerhouse, pull up to the pelvic floor, imprint the belly button, draw the waist in. You're going to float the right knee. So you're going to start by turning the foot in, turning the knee out, come back into knee fold. You're going to extend and turn out. Come back into knee fold, and then you're going to let the knee, the shin, and the ankle fall out, and come back into knee fold. Repeating, turn the foot in, turn the knee out, come back into knee fold. Really use your abs, extend and turn out, come back into knee fold. Really use your abs, fall out, come back in. So we're going to do 3 for 3. Foot turns in, knee turns out. Come back into knee fold, extend and turn out. Come back into knee fold, strong abs, let the knee, the shin and the ankle fall out. Come back into center and hug the shin. Take the foot to the floor, level up through the pelvis, hollow in the back. Powerhouse active, floating the left knee. Turn the foot in, turn the knee out. Maintain the box. In, turn out, extend the leg. Come back into knee fold. Knee, shin, and ankle fall out. Stronger abs to come back into center. And again, turn the foot in, turn the knee out. Come back into knee fold. Strong abs, extend and turn out. Come back into knee fold. Even stronger abs. The knee, the shin, and the ankle fall out. Remember, this is the hard one. Knee fold last time. Turn the foot in, turn the knee out. Come back into knee fold. In, turn out, extend the legs, strong abs. Come back into knee fold. Last time, strong abs, use your powerhouse. Knee, shin, and ankle falls out. Come back into center and just hug the shins. One leg comes in. Then the other, bring the head into the knee. Slowly lower the head. Make a tabletop position with the legs, chin tucked, swinging up into sitting. And that is lesson 3. So you practice that one, you get stronger and stronger, and then you move on to 4. And then eventually, if you wanted to, you could try putting the 2 together, by which time you're ready to jump into those classes.